Chapter 8. Maria, Filipino, white, age 60, March 15th, 2025. It was easy to picture. The Caribbean Sea, the endless coastline, a young serviceman and his bride, and their toddler perched on his lap, tiny hands wrapped around the fishing pole alongside his. "I learned to saltwater fish before I could walk," Maria told me. Her father was stationed in Guantánamo Bay, and the family often took out a 15-foot wooden rowboat to fish together. Now at 60, Maria's favorite pastime hadn't changed. She still found any excuse to be near the water. Though the day we met, the setting couldn't have been further from it. I was watching my nephew's championship game in the I-9 football tournament. Maria drew me in instantly. Approachable, warm, welcoming. She was the site coordinator, managing the awards tent. She and her husband had been with I-9 from the start, took time off for their daughter's softball pursuits, now on full scholarship at FAU, and had now returned, continuing the work they began. Half Filipino, Maria's father immigrated to the U.S. through military service, where he met her Georgian-born mother. The family lived in Cuba, Virginia, and California before settling in Brunswick, Georgia. Her father was from Silang, Cavite, near Manila. She had visited and was proud to say she knew both sides of her family. But in her childhood memories, Cuba, where they lived for 6 years, stood out and was her favorite. "Best saltwater fishing," she grinned. "I wish I could go back just for a vacation to let my husband experience the fishing there." Some places live in the bones long after you've left them. She and her husband had been married 21 years. He retired from the military, and they now worked in similar fields, training and instructional design. They'd raised a daughter together, 2 sons from her first marriage and an adopted daughter from his. The empty nest suited them. They enjoyed spending time together. Maria told me about a new hobby in addition to the I-9 sports, reselling. "We go to yard sales, estate sales, Goodwill," she said, "then flip things on eBay." But her eyes lit up when she spoke about fishing. "He'd never been saltwater fishing until we started dating," she said of her husband. She showed him how to bait the hook and cast the line. At first, he reeled too fast and missed bites. With time, he found his rhythm, the two of them side by side, lines cutting into the saltwater, waiting for the first pull. Naturally, our conversation circled back to her parents, her first teachers. "My mom passed away 6 years ago." There was sadness, but also quiet resilience in her voice. Her father, now 87, still lived on his own. A hurricane had dropped a tree on his house, but he oversaw the repair himself. "Growing up, it was just my brother and me," she said. "He was especially close to our mom, and I was always a daddy's girl. Now he lives 30 minutes from Dad, and I'm a whole 2 hours away." She said it with a mix of affection and mild exasperation that any sibling would recognize. I thought of her as a child in that wooden boat atop her father's lap. I imagined a fuller picture now, her brother leaning over the side as their mother pulled him back. Life had happened in the years since, but the things that mattered, the things that lasted, had not changed. Tomorrow, she and her husband would wake up early and go saltwater fishing, not on a small boat of her past, but on a larger charter. For Maria, it wasn't just fishing. It was love behind that spark in her eyes. It was there when she spoke of her family, the sibling rivalry, the closeness to her dad, the ache of missing her mom. It was there when she smiled about her children. "I finally got my girl," she had told me, who excelled at softball. I forgot to ask her if her children loved fishing. I hope they did. If not, I was certain because Maria was their mother, they'd found something of their own, something that anchored them and pulled them back to family. Because in the end, we all need that, a place, a tradition, a shared story that reminds us who we are and where we come from. It's what keeps us from drifting too far. It's what ties our stories to the ones who came before us. It lets us fly, in the way Maria gave back to her community, in the family she grew with her husband, in the joy she found in life, and in the kindness she offered strangers that Saturday at the park. Maria was proof That connection, that spark, it's how we leave the world just a little bit better than the way we found it. This is truth, and truth always rises.